Frantic Flintstone says he wishes Spyderco would do more hollow grinds, and I am with you on that, because when Spyderco does hollow grinds, they tend to do a really, really good job of it. You know, the one that the most people know about is probably your Yojimbo here. And I will say, I'm going to do a whole review or a whole video on knives I've changed my opinion on. This is definitely one of them. I have liked it more with time. And I mean, look at how thin that hollow grind gets down by the edge. There are some tasks this still sucks for, but this hollow grind, it gets so insanely thin. But Spyderco's done other hollow grinds too. A little bit of an older one, this Lum Tanto, your primary bevel here is hollow ground. Comes very nice and thin behind the edge here. You know, Seki City does great grinds overall. Your Gail Bradley too. This guy, you know, sometimes the factory edges are a little fat, but the grind itself gets very nice and thin behind the edge with this excellent hollow grind. The Swayback here. The Swayback here, this is one of the thinnest knives behind the edge in my entire collection because it starts from reasonable stock, and even though there's not much space to drop, they did make that grind hollow, so it just gets super, super sharp, super, super slicey. And then the best example of you coming up on this is the Bombshell. This is a chunky knife with thick stock, but they put this, and even though it's a saber grind, they put this really aggressive hollow grind on here, so it gets nice and thin behind the edge and slicey, even though it's a big chunky knife. And that is really cool because you get all the ergonomic benefits of a big fat handle, all the toughness of a big thick stock, but you still get great edge performance. Now, there are reasons from a manufacturing perspective that they don't do more hollow grinds. Hollow grinds are harder to do, especially with more edge retentive steels. A lot of, you know, my understanding is a lot of grinding techniques that work well for flat grinds. It's just a little harder to put a hollow grind on some of those. Or maybe harder isn't the term, but it's just a little bit more expensive, takes a little bit more time, different equipment, things like that. And hollow grinds are probably a little bit more temperamental in manufacturing than just a flat grind that you can, you know, like the PM2 that you can just churn out. But I also do wish that Spyderco would use hollow grinds more. You're seeing a bunch out of Taichung. You're seeing some out of Seki City. You're seeing very few out of Golden, Colorado. But when they do them, it really takes the best parts of Spyderco and makes them even better. So yes, I would also love to see more Spyderco hollow grinds.